Okay. What's the agenda? I know we got a bunch of things on the open source roadmap right now. A lot of points that we're ticking off, but yeah, where are we going?
Yeah.
BK, lead the way.
Let me drop the agenda here. All right. Cool. So, I think Ryan's going to be giving a lot of the updates. I think moving forward, we
Yes.
talked about this last time, he's going to be more involved, just working more closely with everybody to ensure that everything we're doing aligns with like what we're doing on the product side. Um, so our agenda today, we're going to just go over updates on the existing projects. So the indexer, airdrop checker, MT staking, marketplace, and then we still have these open proposals for NFT collection creation and integrating IBC Atom as a payment. So let's start with the indexer. Um, Actually, Max is here. So, Max, I'm going to invite you on stage just to give an update there. I know you dropped us some messages yesterday with progress, but just wanted to get an update from you to see how that's going.
Sweet. How'd you do, Max?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Just hustling. You know how it is, brother.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep. Cool. So yeah, sorry for the progress if it's been a bit slow. It's been a hectic couple of weeks, but yeah, we're making progress with it. We're also speaking with the Node Fleet team asynchronously just to make sure that they can start working on implementing the marketplace while we continue working on the other
Sweet.
endpoint that they specified. And yeah, we're also making some modifications to the indexers so that we index the traits that we didn't do previously. They were just like stored as a JSON object in the database, but now we will have a table for it because they were asking for some specific endpoints to query the traits directly to have some stats on it, and also we've added um, because it was required to have the ecosystem, which is not something that is stored on chain. So we just made it as a config file in the repo. So like grouping the collections by ecosystem. That kind of needs to
Cool.
be reviewed a bit, but it's gonna be there, and we can just edit the file in the repo, and it'll propagate in the API endpoint. Should
Sweet.
be good to finish that as expected early January or something like that. In January, the whole thing.
Awesome.
Sick.
Well, I know we'll have some other updates on like the marketplace progress that's related to this a little bit later in the agenda. But thanks, Max. Appreciate you joining as
You're
always.
welcome.
Um,
Heck yeah. Really stoked for all of that.
Yeah,
next,
me too.
next thing on the agenda is the airdrop checker. So this is just a quick update. Vitwit is basically done with the airdrop checker. Here's the link to it right now. They've made some tweaks over the last week, added some new data, and we've had our community checking it out. So I think what we've seen is it's pretty much good to go. I just wanted to get a couple more people using it to make sure that it's reflecting accurate totals. But I think we'll be able to get this out to the community very soon because it's more or less ready. So um,
Is
that's
that
the
the
update.
final URL, or will it be off the Passage site?
I think we need to chat with Mike about that because it probably makes sense to have it move to our site. But I don't think it really hurts to have it on Bitwit either. So
Means yeah, I'm cool with both, but if it's simple enough to put it on passage domain, that'd be solid.
yeah, I mean we had it match the domain for that reason, so it probably makes sense. But I'll connect with Mike on that after the meeting and see. Oh, and Neil just joined as well. Um, but I think then I'm going to pass it to Ryan for everything else that we've got going on with all the other projects and bounties. So, Ryan, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah. So NFT staking, all the smart contracts, including the CW20 rewards, are completed. and then James has been given access to the Node Fleet repo to start working on the front end. Both James and Node Fleet have said though, like until Node Fleet is further along, there's only so much that he can really do with access, but he does have access, so we can start getting familiarized with it. And as soon as there's enough for him to build out the front end for this, he already has access, so he'll be good to go there. The marketplace front end, the build is in progress. I think that in the indexer update, it was mentioned with like the whole ecosystem thing, but there's been some work that had to get done for some of the unique qualities of Passage, like ecosystems. They need the completed indexer to really lock in on a timeline. But as we heard, we should get the indexer finished in January. And then I think that they've kind of said that the best case scenario, assuming that the indexer is perfect upon delivery, which we'll see. There's always bugs with software. Is end of January. But depending on when the indexer gets delivered, that might get pushed a little bit. But I think we're certainly looking at Q1 and hopefully as early in Q1 as possible for that. For proposals, we have the 2 proposals that Brianna mentioned. We have 1 proposal in for each of them, the NFT collection creator front end. We need to get some feedback to the team that submitted that, just to make sure that all the needs are being met in there. We think that there might have been a couple pieces that were missing. So we're going to be getting them feedback just to make sure that their proposal is accurate and everybody's happy with the complete scope of work. And then we have 1 proposal in for the Atom integration, and then we're expecting another one by end of week from Vitwit. So that'll be great to have another one there. We do want to give more time for proposals for these, especially for the NFT collection creation front end. So we're going to be moving the deadline back to January. I don't think we have an exact date yet on that, but we want to make sure we give people enough time to come back from the holidays and put proposals together. So between now and the end of the year with holidays and all that, we'll be working to get connected with more teams that can submit proposals, just so that they're fully aware of it, and when they come back, they can jump into that and get their proposals in. These are both pretty important features for us, especially the NFT collection creation front end, which I'll explain a bit more about why that's so important shortly. But we want to make sure that we're getting the best proposals in, and we have we're able to compare apples to apples on those. So I put a message in the chat, but if you know any more teams that can submit for that, please let us know. We'd love to get some more proposals on those things. So then the next thing on the agenda was our 2025 outlook. So we just had our core leadership team planning sessions for 2025, and we identified a few really high priority things we want to get to this year, and especially focusing on Q1 and Q2. So first one being increasing marketplace activity through introducing new collections by external creators. So we really want to get more creators to come in and bring NFTs to the Passage marketplace, but still with a focus on utility within Passage world. So to that end, we would love to find people that want to make things like avatar assets and such, but we also want to make sure that we're bringing people in who have their own audience that can be added to the Passage community. And so the Passage team is going to support creators as needed to add on utility to their NFTs. So if somebody has a really cool collection that they have ideas for, but maybe they're not a 3D artist and they just have some really awesome artwork on NFTs and they have a community they want to bring together, our 3D squad will help with creating avatar assets or other forms of utility, so that there's more to do with these things, and that they really follow the ethos of why the Passage marketplace exists, which is to deliver utility in Passage worlds. So they will be able to NFT gate based on collections, but we do want to take that to the next level where creators want that. So we're going to be offering kind of that. In addition to that, we're also working to deliver on past promises made to the community as far as the marketplace goes, like the astronaut avatar asset, the gold avatar assets, and then eventually the strange clan pets and mounts that'll hatch from the eggs, which obviously needs, anybody who's familiar with it, it's obvious, needs the NFT staking front end to be up and running, but prepping for that in the background. And those first 2 items, the astronaut and the gold avatar assets, we know we can knock out. We want to get kind of caught up on, it's not not tech debt, but community debt, social debt, however you want to phrase it. But there's things that we promised the community that we were
Yes.
really excited
yes.
about. And as we're getting closer to having NFT avatar customizations in Worlds, we want to make sure that we have those things delivered to folks. So that'll be coming shortly. Outside of marketplace priority, we're moving towards the closed beta. So this is a phase that we're introducing. I think we mentioned it last time. Not positive though. But so this is kind of a new phase that we've introduced in our roadmap. It doesn't change any of our priorities in terms of what we were building, but we just saw an opportunity here to really focus on bringing in Web3 focused users. So we're going to be seeking people from the community. So our closed alpha was really geared more at enterprise users, which a bunch of them do have an interest in the chain and the token and the marketplace, but it's not the top priority for most. In this case, we're looking to bring in 100 to 200 new users from the Passage community and other Cosmos and Web3 communities to leverage Passage and create worlds and run events from a Web3 perspective. And so we're really excited about that. We think that it's going to really inspire a lot more activity on the marketplace, which is why we're trying to kind of synergize the external creator collections coming in. We want more events running. We want more people attending events. We want more people being able to utilize NFTs that they already have or that they will acquire. And we want more people to have a reason to get involved with the token. So selection criteria for participants is still being decided, but there will be kind of an application process where you'll connect your wallet. The main reason why we want to connect the wallet is we're fairly certain that we want to look at either how much Passage you have or how much Passage you have staked as a criteria to prioritize people who are already involved in Passage. And for folks who want to get a spot but they're not yet engaged, it gives them a reason to go buy Passage and stake it to get access, which is great. And we're targeting that for Q1. Still TBD when in Q1. We know we want the new marketplace front end to be available. We don't need like the NFT creation front end to do this. We can still do that kind of in the background, which is fine. But we do want the new front ends there for that. Because the marketplace is such a big part of this phase in terms of what the goals are. There's also a bunch of stuff that we need to build out in the core Passage product. Just streamlining the way that people get into events, allowing them to access via their wallet instead of being a guest, which will allow them to use their NFT assets. And then that sign up process primarily. Also getting the Akash Passage integration kind of set up in the front end so folks can run all their events on Akash as well. And then after that, we'll be moving towards open beta. Open beta is our public release where anybody can sign up and use Passage. We're going to have options for non-Web3 users joining Passage to engage with the token for real benefits. So, for example, paying streaming fees with Passage for a discount, with the goal being, we want to get as many users on Passage as possible, but we also want to give them an avenue to getting involved in the chain and the token in a way that makes sense and in a way that is not, pushing this on them, but more of just, hey, if you want this tangible benefit, here's a way to get involved. So we're looking at more ways to add more options to engage with the chain and hopefully translate folks from non-Web3 Passage users into Web3 Passage users that are fully engaging with the blockchain and by proxy, their audiences will have an incentive to engage with it. So that is all the updates and our 2025 outlook. Does anybody have ideas or thoughts or concerns or anything about anything that I covered? I know I just ran through quite a bit.
Love it. It's the best.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, our goal is just what was our vision statement? That we would have an integrated product and token ecosystem that it becomes the go-to virtual events platform for communities and event organizers. And that pretty much sums it up.
Is the
Absolutely.
already updated in the roadmap? I'd seen over the past couple weeks, a couple people asking for roadmap
Yes.
updates.
Yeah, we need to get together an updated roadmap. We had intentionally left it a little vague through closed alpha as we were looking to get feedback on key features. I think the reality is that we don't have enough people to really get overwhelming data for features requested. So the alpha users, yourself included, have been great with giving us really specific stuff that's needed, and we're integrating a lot of that, like tags for worlds and more manipulations of like media within worlds. But we didn't get feedback on kind of what was needed on the blockchain side and on like a higher level side. So now that we're moving into this phase, we do have our roadmap for what we're planning to get to. We will have an updated roadmap, and then as we get into closed beta, we'll hopefully get a lot more feedback on what needs to be in the roadmap for Web3 users and refining that process as well. So yeah, we'll get an updated roadmap together, but again, it'll continue to be pretty high level for now. But there are some good specifics in here, as well as some initiatives that wouldn't really fit on a roadmap that we're starting up on.
Yeah, and we are part of our Q1 initiatives is also an update to the Passage website. So that'll be an opportunity to.
Any other questions,
unify the
ideas, any thoughts on marketplace and creators coming in and what we'd like to see there, or NFT / token utility within the platform, or anything like that? Like, this is a great time to get some guidance from this group on what we think would be effective in terms of generating activity and excitement around the platform, and making sure that we're continuing to build the platform out for a diverse audience that includes and supports the Web3 folks.
Oh, is it just Ryan who can't hear me, or can you hear me now, Ryan?
Well,
I
it's
can
yet to
hear
be
you.
determined whether or not he could or could not have heard you before. But maybe, hey, Ryan, did you hear Lex just a second ago?
No. Oh, I might
Okay.
have muted.
Why don't you pop in and pop back out, or pop back in?
No, I think at some point I muted him from probably from a stream we did in Iowa.
No, I would do that, to be honest.
Sorry,
Fair,
guys.
totally fair. No, it's all good. It's all good. I was just basically saying that I chimed in to say that we're also updating the website in Q1, so that will be another opportunity to update the roadmap with the latest stuff, but also just make it so that all the materials better reflect where we're going. Because right now there aren't great pathways from the website to get involved in all the things, right? We want a very, very clear pathway from the website to whatever stage we're in, right? So getting involved in the closed beta will be the next stage. Getting involved in all the other parts of the ecosystem, but primarily using the platform, especially as we get further along and it's more accessible, as a gateway for people to then get involved. Because you want somebody who's Web 2 focused, right? So we've got a I just talked to one of our closed alpha participants this morning who's doing events for like Microsoft and Boeing, and he told me today they do 300 live streams a year for Boeing, which is really cool. He's talking about kind of next steps, and they're coming from a traditionally Web 2 they're working for a lot of Web 2 companies, right? And so we want people like that who are just looking to Passage as a platform to be able to get in easily, right? Clearly understand what the platform is, but then also dip their toes into the blockchain stuff, the other stuff, because they've been guided into that, right? And the platform makes it simple enough for them, easy for them to get involved. So just solidifying those pathways is a really important, so if people are on the marketplace, how do they know how to take advantage of those NFTs to get into the platform? And it's going to be easier for those people, because if you're a Web3 person, the platform side is easy. But if you're a Web 2 person, the blockchain side is not easy. So just making sure that all those pathways flow to the advantage of each group. Beans. Any other thoughts, hopes, dreams?
Yeah, if anyone has any other ideas that they want to add to the agenda in advance, for future meetings, please let us know. I know last week we talked about an IBC monitoring bot, or last month, I should say, that was proposed. I think consensus was that it wasn't necessarily something we needed at the moment, but may be useful in the future. But we're always open to new things that might be useful for the community, for validators, for anyone who's using the marketplace. Would love to start building out a specific roadmap for that in addition to our core product roadmap for next year. So
Yeah, 100%. Let us know what you guys are thinking, things that you see as being important for the open source community. Yeah, we do have a lot of things coming up. The roadmap is nice and full, but being able to communicate that in a way that anybody jumping onto the platform can quickly see where this is going will be the fun part. Yeah, and it seems today feels pretty chill. We got a tight little crowd in here. But I think everyone's also in the already in the Christmas spirit. When is our next? Go ahead.
Did you want to mention anything about blockchain explorers at all, or is that you gonna wait on to mention, or did I miss that?
yeah, I think we're still
Oh, okay.
having internal discussions around that, so I don't know that we need to go over it right now.
Yeah. Yes. Just for those wondering, we will be looking at some fun. So, what's the Akash Block Explorer? Akash Explorer. Wow, that was really easy.
Like
What's that?
besides,
Well, yeah, I mean Minscan too, right. But in terms of a chain specific, so there's
We made
a
one,
number.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, we made one using the indexer that we also implemented for Passage, but yeah, it's now
Nice.
under that Cache network. There's a few custom things related to Akash deployments and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. That's super cool. And there may be reasons to explore some ideas like that coming up. And already, I mean, we've got ZenChain Labs as a Passage Explorer on the ZenChain website, alongside their Passage Marketplace dashboard. And so, yeah, there's already some stuff that's out there. Obviously, we got some stuff like PingPub, but yeah, we might just be having some conversations about options coming up here. Gains.
Well, for everyone who's been involved, we kicked this off, I think, in February. It's been really cool to see this community growing. I know that our process and what we're doing isn't perfect yet. We're still learning, but really, really appreciative of everyone who's gotten involved, all of the different teams and contributors and people like Greg who are here every meeting. We really appreciate it, and I'm excited to grow this thing next year.
Amen. Yeah, it's been really cool seeing you guys show up, and it means a lot. So you are very much appreciated, and I'm really excited for kicking off this next year and just all the fun times to come.
Thanks,
Team
everybody.
go. Stay Dragon, fam. Peace.
There, guys.